Hey, what's up, guys? Forrest here. So this is going to be an update for the Taylor trading book that the indicator for NT7 that I created a long time ago. It was kind of cumbersome, hard to use. This one is a bit simpler. It should be a lot easier to use. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing is the indicator itself. Once you install the indicator, what you're going to do is you're going to install, tell it if you wanted to exclude any holidays or other dates you don't want to look at in your analysis. So you're going to go to Tool, Edit Ninja Script, Indicator. You're going to find the indicator itself, which is FP TTT book, and you're going to open it up. Now, to add holidays, you just want to add them into this date, this line right here. So let's say you wanted to add a new holiday. You would just copy this line, paste it there. You paste a new holiday in there, holiday. So we'll get to that in a second. So let's go ahead and add the indicator to the chart. And remember, whatever template, session template you have is what is going to load. So if you're using an ETH session, the date that is going to pull from the chart is going to be the last bar on the chart in the session. So if you have a session that spans across 2 calendar dates, it's going to be the last one. Okay. So let's add the indicator here. And I've got the initial period set for 5, and this means that it's just going to look at the first 5 days on the chart to set the buy day. So let's show labels and print header and hit OK. So it is always going to ignore the first date because it uses the first date just to set the rally and the decline columns because you need that prior day's data. So what it's going to do is look at the first 5 dates. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to pick the lowest low amongst those 5 dates. And you can see right there it says day 1. That's your buy day. And then it's just going to repeat until the end of the chart. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, what if I wanted to exclude this date? So let's exclude the 14th of December. I'm going to come back to the indicator. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it right under. I'm just going to change the date to a 14. I'm going to hit F5 to compile, or you can hit this little button here. They both do the same thing. There we go. Now I'm going to come back to the indicator. Again, you click on the window, you hit F5, or you can open it from here and just click OK. And now you see that box has disappeared. These are just error checking boxes that tell you which dates it's starting its buy date from. So we just said to ignore this date, so it's no longer counting it. Okay. So now let's go to how do we get the data into Excel? We're going to go to Tools, Output Window, and there's our data. Okay. Make sure that it says Print Header if you're doing this for the first time. I don't know why it keeps switching back. I'm going to hit OK. That's going to do the same thing. Run it all the way to the end of the chart so you get more data. I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit Control A, Control C. It's got right click contextual menu as well. So I'm going to come to Excel, open up a blank sheet. I'm going to paste it in here. Now you see the data looks funny. It's all truncated together by commas. So to separate it, I'm going to go Data, Text to Columns, Delimited, Next, Comma. Because it's delimited by commas, I'm going to hit Next, I'm going to hit Finish. There you go. Now your data is all in a spreadsheet. So this is how you get your data in Excel. And now it's Excel, you can do whatever you want with it. So you can come here and you can make it look pretty and freeze the top row. And then you can start putting lines in between the things that make sense to you. So decline, rally, BHBU, I'm going to put a line there. OHLC, I'm going to put a line there because it just makes sense to me. Okay, so let's talk about what these values are. This is the same specifications that we got from the sheet. From the thread. You got the date, which is the last bar in the session. Remember, it's not the first bar, it's the last bar. You got the day of the week. TID is an error checking column. It just tells you how many bars are in a session. So on a 5-minute chart, you should have about 77 bars. If you see something that has like 30, it's probably telling you it's a holiday, or you could just have bad data. You got the volume for the day. You've got the low of the day, high of the day. It just tells you what time it is they occurred. So if I look at, let's look at, and remember, I'm looking at the date where the boxes are because that's where it pulled data from. Let's look at the 16th. If I look at the 16th, it says the low of the day came in at 12:20 and the high of the day 9:45. The low of the day, the 16th. The high of the day is at 9:45. The low of the day is at 12:20. So that's what's on the sheet. And you can see all these numbers here from the error checking boxes. The direction just tells you the order of the low of the day and the high of the day. If the low of the day came first, it's a 1. If the low of the day came second, it's a -1. Open, high, close, D type. These are just your buy day, sell short day. Decline column, rally column, BH column, BU column. Let's look at one of these days. Let's look at the 16th. And let's just check one of these columns. So let's check the 16th, the decline column, which is the yesterday's high to today's low, I think, right? So I'm looking here, and I get a number of 133, close enough. And here it says -132. And that's the number you get there. All right, so that's the sheet. And you can see how I did this here. Like, and this is the cool thing about having this tool is, let's just say I wanted to look at 180 days. This is when it makes more sense to do something like this. Look, just that fast. So also, let's make sure the header thing is checked because it just doesn't stay true for some reason. Rerun it, Control A, Control C. Let's paste this in a new sheet. And there you go. So now you got 180 days worth of data. And then because it's in Excel, you can do Excel stuff with it. So that's the benefit of it. What else we got to talk about? So that's 2 pitfalls with this thing is really, yeah, that's it. Let's talk about the other inputs real quick. This is just your font color, the initial period, show labels, /bar, print header. So for example, if you were adding to a sheet and you had an Excel sheet that you liked and you didn't want to print everything for some reason, you could just set your chart template to what you wanted, don't print the header, and then you paste it into Excel. You can figure that out. /bar, the way NinjaTrader works is that it never processes the very last bar. And that's when this indicator processes the information on the very last bar, so at the end of the session. So the reason that it doesn't plot this very information for this very last day is because NinjaTrader won't process this bar as being closed until the next session starts. So if you're using an RTH session like I like to use sometimes, you will want to come here and let's look. You see this is 12/27 is the last date. It's not picking up 12/28. So what I'm going to do is click /bar, set this to true, and then I'm going to hit OK. And then you come down here and you can see that now I've got 12/28. So you want to use /bar if you're using an RTH session and and you're after the close of the session and NinjaTrader is not processing that bar, which it won't. Okay? If you're using an ETH session, you'll probably have this session close and you'll have the next bar, so you won't need to worry about that. Also, if you're using an RTH session for an index future like this, for example, you only want to use the /bar until after the session is closed. Because if you have this running live throughout the day and you have a /bar set to true, what it's going to do is it's going to continually print this each bar as if the last bar has occurred. So you will see this line 77 times, and it'll kind of make pasting it into Excel senseless. It won't make sense. So just something to keep in mind so that you know. So this indicator we talked about, the 2 pitfalls. One is having to put the data in manually to the indicator, which we did at the beginning, but I think it's a pretty simple thing. What I wanted to do was have it read from a text file that you would save on your desktop, and you would just update the text file with dates. You would just put like 12/25 2016, and then you would put 12, or you put 01 for New Year's next year, and then it would read from the text file. But this just happens to be something that I don't have much practice with, and I didn't want to go through trying to figure out how to do it. I figured this way was kind of an easy compromise that nobody should have a problem doing. So I think that's it. I'm looking at a list. I think that's all I had to go over, guys. I wanted to try and keep this video as short as possible, under 10 minutes. We're 9.5 minutes. If you have any questions, post them in the forums. I was thinking about doing another video after this. It just depends on whether or not I have time for it. I was going to show some of the things you can do with pivot tables in Excel. I don't know how many people use them, but they're really convenient. Like, you can take a lot of these stats and do some really cool stuff with them and slice them up and apply filters and timelines to them and things like that. But I'll just have to see if I have time for it. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace.